One of Putin's closest advisors just made a shocking claim: the United States is preparing to use crypto and stablecoins to secretly erase its $37 trillion debt. At first, it sounds impossible, but history shows the US has used tricks like this before. And if this strategy is real, it could completely reset the financial system as we know it. Today, I'll show you exactly what was said, how it connects to Bitcoin and stablecoins, and why it could impact your future more than any headline on Wall Street. Let's start with the claim itself. At the Eastern Economic Forum, senior advisor Anton Kobiakov said the US is pushing the world into a crypto cloud in order to move its national debt, over $37 trillion, into assets like stablecoins, and then devalue it. On the surface, that sounds like conspiracy. But this idea isn't new. Michael Saylor, the billionaire behind MicroStrategy, once said America should dump all its gold, buy Bitcoin, and destroy gold as an asset class. His logic? That it would cripple America's rivals and recapture global dominance. But here's the bigger question: how does devaluing debt actually work, and why would crypto be involved? Devaluing debt doesn't mean not paying it back, it means paying it back in weaker money. Imagine you owe me $100, but instead of paying me with the same $100 bill, you print another one. Suddenly there's $200 chasing the same goods. Prices rise, my $100 buys less, and you've technically repaid me, but in reality, I've lost value. That's inflation. And it's one of the oldest tricks governments use to reduce the real burden of debt. The US did it after World War II, in the inflationary 1970s, and again after the pandemic. But here's where stablecoins change the game, and why Putin's advisor says the US is already experimenting with them. Stablecoins don't just live in the US, they live everywhere. Every time someone uses USDT or USDC abroad, they're holding a digital IOU backed by US treasuries. That means foreign users are indirectly helping fund America's debt. Now imagine what happens if the US inflates the dollar. The pain doesn't just hit Americans at the grocery store, it gets exported worldwide through stablecoins. Everyone holding them shares the cost. But why would the rest of the world ever accept this system? That's where trust, or the lack of it, comes in. On paper, every stablecoin should be backed 101 with real US assets. But can foreign governments prove it? Not really. Reports are published, but they rely on auditors, and at the end of the day, it's trust us. And if you think the US wouldn't change the rules mid-game, remember 1971, when Nixon cut the gold standard overnight. The world held dollars expecting gold redemption. The US rug pulled, and suddenly, the promise was gone. So if the world doesn't trust stablecoins, what's the US's real play here? The answer might not come from Washington, but from private companies. Think about MicroStrategy. It's become a Bitcoin proxy, holding more than 200,000 BTC. Imagine if the US never openly buys Bitcoin but later takes a stake in MicroStrategy, or in another corporation holding massive amounts of crypto. That way, America benefits without ever officially admitting to the plan. Subtle, deniable, but incredibly powerful. So here's the bottom line: the Russian advisor wasn't spinning a wild theory. He was pointing out a pattern. The US has always devalued its debt, and stablecoins may be the next tool to do it on a global scale. If this strategy works, the $37 trillion problem could be kicked down the road, but at the cost of exporting inflation worldwide. And if it backfires, it could fracture global trust in the dollar, and open the door for Bitcoin to step in as the true reserve asset. So I'll leave you with this question: is this the ultimate advantage for the US, or the spark that accelerates Bitcoin's rise to global dominance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want to stay ahead of these moves and understand how crypto ties into geopolitics, hit subscribe right now. The next few years won't just be about price charts, they'll be about the biggest financial reset of our lifetime.